In recording lesson 4, in this lesson we're going to model the columns. And I have to keep reminding myself that many of you are not terribly familiar with the conventions of architectural drawings. And so what is readily legible to me may not be to you, and I'm going to talk about what I'm going to do here. I'm looking at this section. There are two floors. There's a 6-inch height floor and there's a 12-inch height floor. And there are, what we're looking at are columns in elevation that appear to sit on those floors. I'm going to model them from the ground level, which is 0, right? So I'm going to make believe that those columns actually extend to the ground, right? Let me delete that geometry so it doesn't come back to bite us. And what that means very simply is I'm going to create a shape This is a square. In this case, it's a 1/6 by 1/6 square. And if I go to a 3D isometric view and turn off my walls layer, I can see that I've drawn that on the ground. And if I look at my section, to measure the height that column should be, the height is represented by the distance from that endpoint to the grade, to the ground, which is 14.6. So I want the columns to be 14.6. I'm going to extrude that column to height 14. Look at the view control box, 14.6. The column, each instance of the column is identical. So what I'm going to do is make that a component. So 1, 2, 3, triple click that, make it, edit, make component, and call it column. What's a component? Component means that every instance is an architectural element, every instance of which is identical. I'm going to move and copy that component to the places that it occurs in the model. Select the move tool. Let's grab it from this endpoint. Tap the control key, copy it there. Tap the control key, oops. Copy it there. Tap the control key and copy it there. Okay, so the column sits in the same place that the exterior wall does. It occupies the same space. In actuality, structurally, this would be built with light wood members or some other, whatever structural system was being used to build this space in conjunction with the walls. So that's beyond the scope of what I want to discuss here, but what we have are column elements, 4 identical column elements that exist in this model, and we need a layer for them. So let's create a layer called columns, and so we can quickly move those. Let's just hide the walls, and I'm holding the control key to select these 4 elements I just created and move them. We're going to push them to the column layer. So we can now separately control visibility of the walls column. Exterior walls. Okay. The rest of this should go pretty quickly, but I want to keep the lessons in small segments, so I'll talk about each when we do them. So that's what we've modeled so far in our model. In the next lesson, we'll look at some of what forms of floor elements.